I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Argentina.
Distinguished Secretary General, distinguished President of the General Assembly, dear colleagues, we are meeting in the Assembly to defend the founding principles of the United Nations, to defend international peace and security. The situation in Ukraine cannot be cast aside in the fundamental purposes of this organization. We have asked all parties involved in the situation in Ukraine to de-escalate the conflict, and that is why we agree in appealing to the Secretary General and to all existing multilateral fora to cooperate to ensure de-escalation of the conflict and a return to the negotiating table of all stakeholders to find a solution through political dialogue, direct negotiations, and all peaceful means which could lead to an end in the violence and help to achieve just and lasting peace. The Republic of Argentina condemns the invasion of Ukraine, and we reiterate to the Russian Federation to immediately cease the illegitimate use of force as well as military operations in Ukrainian territory. We would like to underscore the message of the Secretary General, which he made yesterday when he referred with great concern to the decision of the Russian government to put its nuclear forces on alert. The Secretary General said, and I quote, "This is a chilling development. The mere idea of a nuclear conflict is simply inconceivable. Nothing can justify the use of nuclear weapons," end quote. We have established clear principles with regard to weapons of mass destruction, in particular the use of nuclear weapons. While we defend the peaceful use of nuclear energy and non-proliferation, we must work towards the complete destruction of a weapon which threatens the planet with total annihilation. Mr. President, we have insisted that at times such as these, it is absolutely essential to repeat the importance of defending the UN Charter and respect for the preeminence of law in international relations. Mr. President, no acquisition of land can be recognized as legal when done through the use or threat of use of force. It is the logical consequence of respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity of any state. International law has set general principles which we have all recognized, and we do not have the luxury of choosing when they are applicable or not. And hence, any attack against the territorial integrity of a state runs counter to the purposes and principles of the Charter. Moreover, there is no doubt that the power of international peace is based on freedom, equality, justice, and respect for human rights of all states without distinction. As the Argentine Foreign Minister Santiago Cafiero said yesterday, Monday, at the meeting of the Human Rights Council in Geneva, in referring to the crisis in Ukraine, and I quote, who is the primary victim in a war? Is it truth or human beings? I believe in these hours of pain and uncertainty, we must all cling to preservation of life as the most supreme of human rights. End of quote. We must therefore address without delay the consequences of the serious deterioration in the humanitarian situation in Ukraine, with hundreds of thousands of displaced and refugees. They must have immediate access to effective and genuine humanitarian aid, and therefore there must be immediate free access of that aid provided. And that is not to mention that, as always, an armed conflict in a given region sooner or later will spill over into other regions as a result of forced migration, humanitarian crises, hunger, and illnesses, and this will have a direct or indirect impact on people linked to the conflict. We've heeded the words of His Holiness Pope Francis when he prayed to all parties involved to abstain from carrying out any action which might cause further suffering to the population, destabilizing coexistence, peaceful coexistence among nations, and flouting international law. We believe in multilateralism, and the history of the United Nations has shown us how far we can go together. We know that there is no other way, no other means of addressing the challenges awaiting mankind around the corner. We will therefore continue to strictly defend the principles of the Charter. We are fully committed to those principles, particularly to peace. Thank you.
I thank the distinguished representative of Argentina.